Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Path of Nostalgia. This video we are looking at a legend. A very interesting legend who's been around since 1981, and yes, I'm talking about Postman Pat. A famous and absolutely fantastic, brilliant piece of, well, let's say a good children's show, as always. So let's get into Postman Pat. So Postman Pat is So Postman Pat, he is So Postman Pat So Postman Pat, written by John Cunliffe, and is also a postman, going around the village doing various jobs, sending letters, parcels, and occasional interesting items, of course, and goes on some misadventures with the locals around the village, and obviously just always have fun, and so that's Postman Pat in a nutshell, really. So, what's so interesting about Postman Pat very much? I mean, though he's a famous, well, I could say he's a famous television character who's enlightened children's for many years, including me, very much, you know, and well, let's find out why. So, first things first. Postman Pat obviously was written by John Cunliffe, and he was born in Kendal, where I'm a Kendalian myself. I'm born in Kendal. John Cunliffe was born in Kendal in the late 40s, I think he is, probably. And obviously, it's based around some of the places that are in Kendal that inspire Postman Pat. First and foremost, there is the post office itself. Mrs. Grogan's post office is based on this little post office which is on top of Beesbanks, or what? Well, it's a place called Beesbanks, or something that us Kendalians call it. It's basically like a little big steep incline in the town centre, and at the top, if people know this, there used to be a post office there. That's an inspiration for the post office up there, and the village of Greendale was actually inspired by a place called Longsdeddle, whereas the Americans call it Longsadale. Longsdeddle, that's what it's called. Well, that's what Brits call it. Longsdale, of course, is actually a very small village, actually, down in a valley, very much like a very steep valley. I mean, because one of my friends lives there, actually, and old friend of mine, and I've been there a few times, and it's interesting. I mean, it's very, I would say, tight. There's a few houses there, and very, very much, and it's sort of, I would say, closed off a little bit. It's a little bit closed off a little bit. I mean, you have nice open air, you have a nice river flowing through it. It is pretty alright. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad place to live. I mean, it's okay, mind you, I haven't been for a while though, so who knows. But overall, it's an interesting place. So that's the inspiration for Greendale. Very much, that's what it's based on. It's based on actual village dates. It's not made up. It's all influenced by Longsdale. Or Longs. Why am I saying Longsdale? It's Longsdeddle. Yeah. Oh, I think of the American now. What Mojo said. Yeah. So anyway, so we follow the adventures of Pat Clifton. Well, that's his actual name, Pat Clifton. That's his full name. As he's a very charming postman. You know, always happy. You know, very charming. Always helpful, and he goes around with his black coat dress in a small red van owned by the Royal Mail. Interesting. He works for the Royal Mail, and he just delivers the post around just his village, very much. Yeah, and obviously as with every episode, we get introduced to a lot of interesting locals. We do. First and foremost, with Mrs. Groggins, who's the owner of the post office. Always, basically, the only secondary character to Postman Pat. I mean, she appears in every single episode she does. And then we've got Ted Glenn, who is I would say he's a, I don't say he's self-working one. He's more working as like self-employed. He goes around with a truck, you know, if he's doing window cleaning or anything like that, building or bricklaying, who knows. He's just like he's like a hands-on man, you know, like self-employed handyman or something. He is, probably is handyman, just going around helping out. And he's one of Pat's best friends, of course, or good friend of Pat's. We've got Pat's wife, we've got Pat's wife Sarah, who wasn't introduced in the second series in the mid-90s, of course, and his son Julian, again in 1996. They were introduced at the time. I think interesting enough, they're interesting. It's nice to see that as a family. Very much in the second series. I mean, stuff has changed then, but I will continue. I will talk about this series in particular. So you have Sarah and Julian, of course, is part of his family. You've got Reverend Timms, of course, the vicar. You've got Mrs. Hubbard. You've got was it Sam Cartwright or was it Sam Johnson or something? It's like a mobile salesman who looks like very much like Charlie Chaplin, very much. It goes around. You have Dorothy, and you've got. Well, you got the Thompsons. You do. Well, the first name's the housewife's Dorothy, and you got Farmer Thompson. I can't remember his name. I can't remember his first name. You have police officer Arthur Selby. You've got the General Forbes. That's it. You have General Forbes. So Mrs. Hubbard. You have General Forbes. Yeah, and then so that's not the main bulk of Greendale very much. I mean, in the original 2 seasons, very much. Obviously. The first series premiered in '81, and to be honest, they're sort of simplistic. They are. I mean, the episodes are simplistic. They are okay, and it's basically just Pat doing going on his rounds, doing various obstacles. Either it's hot day, if it's a foggy day, if it's snowing, if there's an issue like a bird has stolen some like a parcel or something, or something's going on. It just depends very much, and just focus on lessons and stuff like that. Whereas with the second series, which didn't premiere until 1996, which is interesting. I mean, you kind of thought like they could do a second series in 1983 or something, but you have to wait about how long? About 15 years. 15 years for a second series. Jesus Christ. I mean, however. Much has improved since the second series. I mean, you have more characters, of course. The animation's a bit more better, really, more fluid. And we can introduce some more characters, of course. Sam and Julian, obviously Mrs. Hubbard, and Sam. And you have like the other farmer, bearded farmer. I can't remember the name. Well, I can't remember the name. Yeah. Hi, indeed. Yeah, so we had to wait 15 years for a second series, which came out in '96, and then we have to wait from a few more, probably in about 98, about 7 years for the third series, which at this point changed a bit. I mean, you sort of like some of the rest of the characters, however, some had left. Including Mrs. Hubbard sort of left, and Sam had left, and obviously that farmer again I mentioned, if you didn't know, left as well. And we get introduced to a sort of Indian family, of course, and which was meant to be sort of like multiracial. I mean, at this time in 2003, multiracial things. We have to live in this society now. We have to update ourselves with Britain these days. Whereas in the first 2 seasons, it was all white. It was, all white characters, all British characters. And now we get some like a small Indian family, which to me seems alright. I mean, the character, was it Sanjay? His name is probably interesting character. I mean, he is pretty good. Not bad, and the family itself is alright. I mean, what was it meant to be? He was meant to be a pen pal of Ted's, wasn't he, or something? No. That's it. He was a pen pal of, well, his son was a pen pal of Julian, and his dad knew about sort of a steam locomotive which he and his classmates have found. They discovered this old engine in the shed, which is an early episode of the third season in 2003, and they found it for deciding to reopen the station. They need a driver, just get this engine to do it, and I thought, okay. Yeah. However, since then, I think, as the series goes on, it's pretty average. I mean, it's stop motion. It is. They still retain the stop motion aspect, which is brilliant, and probably done good. I mean, one of the main selling points I think is Ken Barry, of course, his narration of Pat. Like his voice work with Pat, I mean, he does a bit of narration as well, and there's the, we'll see, was it Karen Boyd or Caroline Boyd or something? She does the female characters. I think she does as well. I mean, I would probably say, you know, the second series, if you think of the classic era of Postman Pat, of course, I think people will still mostly remember series 2, pretty much. I mean, be honest, it's more fluid. The stories are a bit more intriguing to watch. I mean, they're quite good. Though, there is some episodes, there's maybe about 4 episodes that had appeared in between 2 seasons, because you had, like, Toy Soldiers, Tuba, the robot, and the bus. Or Takes the Bus or something. But you don't really see it anymore, really. I mean, that's quite interesting. I mean, he owns a bus, maybe 1 episode, and uses it between 2 seasons in a big two gap. I mean, that didn't appear until 1991. Anyway, that's me ranting about Postman Pat. So, how did I come across Postman Pat? I probably don't own videos of Postman Pat or VHSs of him. However, he appeared in a lot of compilations that I bought, like Toy Box and some other stuff, you know, that appeared throughout. And, well, I remember particularly one that had the episode, was it Postman Pat on the Hole in the Road, in which Arthur Selby somehow closed the road because of a small pothole. Sort of interesting of how the world's like that today. I mean, mind you, it's not really serious. It's just a small pothole they blocked off and causing diverting traffic to go all over the place. Very funny. And yeah, but overall, I thought Postman Pat, that episode, Postman Pat, when I first watched it, I thought really good. I like the feature, of course, of Ken Barry, who is actually a singer and actually sadly passed away last year. Cheers, Ken. You did a fantastic job. Obviously, what he did a great job. He did really good, and I think he feels proud of what he did. You know, he's the voice of Postman Pat as always. I mean, I've never really seen this new guy who actually is now voicing him. But what he turned out to be, he's meant to be Scottish or something. He's like a Scottish, like Pat's got a Scottish accent now. So that's my sort of introduction to Postman Pat, very much through compilations and other stuff. You know, I never really owned any of his VHSs. Or do I? It's hard to decide what I've got, like what VHSs I've got all of these years. I have no idea. I mean, it's quite surprising. I mean, I've still got loads. There's a big box up there somewhere. Who knows what's up there? Who knows what VHSs are up there? It's too interesting. Well, it's not satisfying, but it's too interesting. So probably I might do, actually. I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see at some point. Yeah, I probably might do. So anyway, that's me ranting about the great, fantastic Postman Pat. Well, I won't mention the movie. I might mention it at some point. Maybe later on this channel. Anyway, the dogs are barking, and thank you for watching. Have a star chat. I'll see you for the next video. Thank you very much. Bye.